Hi Gemini, welcome to your December 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of 2023, you have December 2022, sorry. You have the Four of Wands, right? So it makes total sense at this time. Events, this is you celebrating, having fun, having a blast, and just generally just enjoying life. One of the things that I love most about Gemini energy is you guys tend to emit this I'm just happy to be here kind of energy, and it really, for me, I really like that. The other thing is, this is about you. So the Four of Wands tends to be celebrations, good news, and events, right? But this is in your actions and options. So this is about what you do, which suggests to me that this month you are the good news. You are, well, I mean, obviously, darling, but you are the good news. This is you bringing, like, you're spreading the cheer this year, right? This month. This is you delivering some information or some knowledge that gives other people reason or cause to celebrate. And it kind of feels like a lot of you are working on planning some kind of event. So it's something that you're gearing up to, that you are kind of getting prepared and ready for slowly but surely, which is great. It also suggests to me as well that something that you need, not something that you want or you desire or whatever, but something that you need in order for a certain event or experience to go ahead is actually delivered to you just in time. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Eight of Swords. So whenever this card shows up for communications, I often say to people, keep your mouth stum, right? But because you've got it here with the Four of Wands, this suggests to me that you, like, so whether this is an invite that you've accepted, whether it is a party that you've planned, whether it's something you're going to try to renege on something this month, where you're going to be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to have to cancel this, or I can't come anymore. And whoever it is that you've, you know, whatever invitation you've accepted, they're going to be like, the fuck you won't. You're going, whether you like it or not, whatever invite, whatever you've accepted, whatever you've RSVP'd yes to, you will be going. They will come and find you and kidnap you, like in a good way, right? You know, not like the dodgy, weird way. Can you imagine? Oh, sorry. That's not funny. Oh my gosh. You're a Gemini. I'm sure you're probably pissing yourself right now. You get my point, okay? Like, I do not condone anything like that. I'm just, yeah. For your, oh my gosh, for your heart and half, you have the Six of Swords. So for a lot of you, if you, there's a few ways this could show up. For some of you, you might be having, like, if you have kids but you're not partnered, you could be having a very adult Christmas. So maybe you're invited round to friends, or you invite people round, whatever it is. Like I said, you're not getting out of it. So you may as well just fold, have fun, you know, let loose. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, it does suggest that you are either traveling. Again, if you'd agreed to go to the parents and then last minute you try to pull out or whatever, not going to happen, right? You're in it, so you might as well just get used to that idea right now. When it comes to those of you that are single, this could be one of those, like, you know, you bump into somebody in like a really weird way or in a really silly kind of manner. The reason I say this is because the Six of Swords is going to see, so on your travels in some way, shape or form, you are likely to meet someone in a place that maybe you hadn't planned to be, maybe you didn't want to be, whatever it might be. And you know, you might be there and it's like, so you know when you see those films and they're like, oh, you know, you turn up to a place and you're like, oh, you know, someone says, oh, this is so and so and they're divorced too, and it's like, really, you know, like that's what we have to bond over. cheers. I make jokes, it's possible with these cards. Outside of that, I actually think you will be feeling a lot better in yourself, whether you're partnered, whether you're single, whatever your situation. At the time you're going to try to decline this invitation or to renege your sort of yes, I'm going, it'll actually start to, by the time you realize, okay, they're not letting me get out of it, you'll be like, actually, you know what, I'm kind of looking forward to this. And you have good reason to. For your money and materials, you've got the Star card. Look at that, right? So whatever you are doing when it comes to your money, your finances, your resources, especially where friends give you news about work, about business ideas, your finances are good. Like, you're finishing the year actually quite strong on a financial level at least, and also on a health level. I will say the nervous system is probably going to be very high energy this over the course of this month. I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but just watch out for that. And maybe this is the reason where you're kind of like, well, the anxiety is really high at the minute or whatever. Stuff that. Even if you're feeling that, it's not going to matter. Your friends, your people, you're not getting out of it. I'm just getting, like, that message seems to be very resolute. I love this for your money though, and I also like this for preparations of launches, things that you want to share with the world, or things that rely on you making money from or through other people. All right, so with that said, let's get into your weeks of the month. Before we get into your weeks of the month, the winter solstice alignment activation is going ahead as always. So if you've been with me long enough, you know that annually I put on a winter solstice event. It's always a lot of fun. I've got two very special guests this year. We're going to be talking about the numerology of the solstice and the year ahead. We're going to be talking about the astrology. We're going to be looking at human design and how this is going to be affecting all of us in some way, shape or form. All of this will also be culminating in my FLP session, where I shoot you off into the future to see what the year ahead has it in it for you, so that you can sidestep your challenges and you can lean into your blessings. With that said, it's on the 21st of December, 7 p.m. UK time. I fixed the tech glitch this year. Last year we had a tech glitch. I fixed it. I know what the issue was. You can get that on the link in the description box below. It's £33.33. It would be lovely to have you there. So for your first week of the month, you have the Fool card, right? So that for okay. That's why you can't get out of it. First of all, see, I thought this was something that you'd already said yes to. And for some of you, that may actually be the case. For others, it may be that the invite or whatever it is comes in that first week of December. You agree to it, you're like, yeah, cool, no problem, gonna be there, it'll be great. And then maybe sort of like around the end of the second week, as we start to get sort of closer to Christmas, you're a bit like, oh, actually, I don't want to go, or I'm just gonna stay home, or what. It's not gonna happen, all right, just so you know. But that is a really fun, very, like, trust me, you're gonna have an absolute blast. For the second week of the month, you've got the Justice card with the 8 of Swords. Okay, so not only are you being held to something that you've agreed to do, but also this looks like this second week of the month could see a very potentially intense conversation around a contract or a commitment or an agreement of some kind. This could also be a time where you're realizing that maybe some of the specifics or the details around a work situation, around a product, around a service, around your job, or whatever it might be, this is where you're starting to see what the particulars are, and it's where you're kind of like, okay, now I kind of understand what I missed previously. For the third week of the month, you've got the Hierophant card, coupled with the 6 of Swords. Just casually going to drop this into the conversation. For those of you that are single, it's not to say that you're getting married this month, but I kind of get the feeling, if you've been with me long enough, you know I tend to err on the side of caution with these kinds of predictions. But I kind of get the feeling that this month it's a potential for you to meet the person that you're actually going to marry. You may not see it when you meet them. You might not even like this person when you meet them, but there is a potential here for you to connect to or with someone in a way or in a space that you don't expect. And this person could end up being a big part of your future. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, something about the relationship turns a corner this month. So if you've had challenges or issues, it looks like your Christmas, your Hanukkah, your Kwanzaa, your Yule, whatever it is that you're celebrating, or not, as the case may be, will be really nice. And it's like because the Six of Swords is a card of getting, aside from travel, it's also a card of getting away from difficult times. And this tells me that your relationship is turning a corner, specifically for those of you that have had challenges or issues. As a relationship, it does look like a lot of you will be traveling around that Christmas period. So, you know, makes total sense. For your 4th week of the month, you've got the Tower card with the Star card. If you have a website, which is a lot of people over the, you know, it's 2022. If you have a website, check your encryption, back up your hard drives, and really make sure that your passwords, etc., are safe. This 4th week of the month, it could get a little bit weird. So you're just wanting to make sure you're looking after anything of that nature. This could, though, be some kind of spontaneous, disruptive blessing that comes in where you're like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. If you're not playing the lotto, what are you doing, right? Play the lotto, put some money on a horse, whatever it is that you like to do in that regard. Because this could be, you know, sometimes the Tower is a really nice message, especially when it's flanked by good cards. But with the Tower card here, there's a few ways this could show up. And interestingly enough, if you've been with me long enough, you've heard me say this. I usually look to your sign because Gemini rules the media, and I'll pay attention to what your reading might say about the cosmos. So we could see a disruption, we could see a tech glitch, we might see a problem with a satellite of some sort, potentially, that maybe comes crashing to Earth. We could be, you know, there's going to be something going on around that time, so just be mindful. And because it's coming up in your cards, I wonder if this is hitting you in a certain way. Now, for your full moon, this is your full moon. So remember, whenever I'm talking about astrology, it's always from your ascendant first, to a lesser degree, but still very relevant, your sun and your moon. But that full moon on the 8th of December is happening in your sign. It's a Gemini full moon, which means you have the cosmic spotlight on you. So if you're planning to hide and kind of shut the curtains and do that hermit thing, especially around that, like the 7th, 8th and 9th of December, not going to happen. All right, like you will be very visible. So maybe use that to your advantage in some way. I love this for you, and I think really use it, right? Anything that happens in the first house, you kind of get a wish. So what is your wish? You get one full moon wish. What do you wish for? You got the gate 33 and looking back. So that full moon, I think, is going to really it's going to see you looking at yourself and saying, holy crap, I don't even recognize myself or the life or the experience that I'm having now versus the experience that I had last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is. That full moon will have an element where you're talking to people and you realize how far you've come. Beautiful. And then finally, your new moon. I'm so here for the Capricorn new moon. I've said this to every sign, I'm going to say it to every sign. I feel like this Capricorn new moon is our reward for what's been a challenging, sort of raucous, up and down kind of year. That Capricorn new moon, it's gorgeous. It's just so nice. It's a spiritual new moon. It's light, it's fun, it's easy. I'm just so here for it, and I really am loving it. And so for that reason, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And this is a manifesting new moon. Set your intentions. What do you want from the 8th house, right? So other people's money, finances and resources, taxes, loans. It's also the space in the chart that shows where we are either indebted to others or others are indebted to us. Because it's a new moon, there's a few ways that this could show up. But remember, the corresponding full moon of 2023, which is in Cancer season, will bring you the results or the rewards of whatever you're setting into motion at this new moon. Cash in on it, all right? It's in that 8th house. So especially if you're doing things with groups or making money from, you know, other people, this could be a good time to do it. You've got the gate 35 and experience. This card always says to me that you can't take somebody else's word for it. Let's say you say to yourself, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna start a website that's about ... And someone says to you, oh yeah, you know, I've got another friend that tried to do that and it didn't work for them, so you shouldn't bother. Or you say, oh, you know what, I really want to go to, I don't know, Paris and see the Eiffel Tower. Oh yeah, my friend went there and, you know, they got mugged, so don't bother. That's not going to cut it, right? Whatever somebody else's experience is with what you're trying to do or manifest or set intentions around for this new moon, don't let it be coloured by anyone else, not even me. Like if you feel like, actually Raf, you know, Capricorn's not a good sign for me, I don't like it, whatever, I'm not going to use it, then don't. You know, hey, listen, you do you. Your experience trumps everything around this new moon, all right? And that's what really does need to be at the forefront and center. Yeah, with that said, whatever you celebrate, whether it's Yule, whether it's Kwanzaa, whether it's Hanukkah or Christmas, whatever you do celebrate, from my heart to yours, thank you for all of your support throughout this year. It really does mean the absolute world. It would be lovely to see you at the winter solstice session, but if I don't, I wish you all of the best of all of that good stuff, and I will see you soon. Take care, and I'll see you next year.